Hey everyone, so in this video I want to give you a behind the scenes look at a recent production I had. I was hired to cover a conference in Atlanta, Georgia. I also want to give a huge shout out to David Montessori. I hired him to help me with this conference and he also captured a ton of the BTS in this vlog. So huge shout out to him and huge shout out to all the other crew members that were able to help me on this shoot. I'll go ahead and link their info in the description below. I'm getting ready for a shoot next week in Atlanta, and what started off as a simple shoot quickly turned very complex, and I bit off way more than I could chew. So I was helping the client figure out AV, and all they really needed was a TV. And the hotel conference center was going to charge us something like $1,500 for a TV to use per day. So it would have been over $3,000 just for a TV and a simple AV setup. So I suggested, I could do it way cheaper. I'll bring a TV. It's not going to be $3,000. It'll be a lot less. So I got a TV and that quickly grew into other things that they were needing. So when I say I bit off more than I could chew, I now have a TV, a projector, 100-inch screen, and then a bunch of set furniture. So again, with the set furniture, what started off pretty innocent, we got a quote, to get some furniture in for a couple of the interview stations, and it was crazy price. Like, I want to say the quote was like well over $3,000 or $4,000 again, just for furniture rental for a couple of days. So I said I could bring furniture, do it a lot cheaper. So I ended up buying a few set pieces. There's a table in there, a lamp in there, and then there's a bunch of other little things in here, backgrounds and other little decorations that will go on here and then on the dresser. So luckily these are more like not real furniture, so everything's pretty lightweight. I didn't really feel the need to buy like actual sturdy furniture because it's just for look, not for functionality, just to look nice. Fake plants, that sort of thing. So now I bit off way more than I can chew, and luckily a buddy of mine who I hired to help with the shoot has a truck, and he's going to take the furniture items in his truck, so that way it makes it up to Atlanta. So we got furniture, and then TV, a couple other little furniture items, a TV stand. This is just, it's crazy. There's so much in here. Couldn't bring the innovative cart on this shoot because I have 9 camera packages, which is the most I've ever run at one time. I have all the expensive tripods here. So I mean expensive because I have tripods in here and then I have tripods in there. Didn't want to put expensive ones in here because it could get stolen or it could fall off or whatever. So I have all the Sacklers in here. There should be a total of 4, actually 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tripods. Then I have another 4 tripods in here. Bunch of director's chairs and stools and other furniture items in here. And then, like I said, had to get rid of the innovative cart, but I still need a way to transport equipment. So I have that here. This is a stackable, foldable cart. Audio, and then just a bunch of lighting and stands and the typical G&E stuff that I have, diffusion, all that. So the job is essentially a conference. They want 3 breakout rooms to capture interviews. 2 of them are going to be set studios, and then the third one is going to be moving around MOS with some lights and camera. So that's the third set. And then the fourth set, which is actually the live event coverage. It's a 4-camera multicam shoot. We're not actually streaming anywhere. We're just capturing it in a live setting that's going to be used for educational purposes later on at a later date. We're going to edit it, but still capture it live, if that makes sense. So that's a 4-camera multicam shoot, utilizing a lot of FS5s, couple of FX3s, A7 IVs, that sort of thing. So yeah, lots of moving pieces. I'm super bummed I actually can't bring this because there just wasn't enough room to fold it, even folding it down. And it's overkill because I'm not going to really have a huge video village that I need to set up monitors. And the foldable cart will work fine. Like, I just have to make a few more trips because this has a 1,500 pound weight capacity, and then the foldable cart has a 500 pound weight capacity. So I can't overload that thing or it's going to break. So I just have to make a few more trips, which is fine. But yeah, this is probably one of the bigger shoots I have for this year scheduled. I've had this on the calendar for a couple months. It of course grew. I wasn't really planning on furniture and TV and projector and that sort of thing. Wasn't really planning on all that. That was kind of a last minute addition. But it is what it is. You know, I get to keep all the furniture so I can use it for future gigs, and then I get a rental out of it, which paid for the furniture and a little bit more. And I think ultimately this is going to look great. My wife helped me pick out some of the furniture, some of the decorations for all the different sets, and I feel like it looks nice. So thanks to my wife for making it happen. I definitely am not good at this kind of stuff, so yeah. Okay, so we made it to the hotel and getting everything set up. I loaded in earlier today, and now I'm just getting interview sets ready to go for tomorrow. These conference rooms were, the typical blank canvas. The walls were brown. They do have a little set decoration here. I could have utilized that, but didn't really know what to expect walking into this room. So I brought my own furniture for these 2 sets. But yeah, it's coming together. Here we are at a convention center in Atlanta. We just got done filming, but I'm going to walk you guys through kind of what this was. So I was hired for a 2-day conference here locally in Atlanta. I drove down from Little Rock with a couple crew members. I think in total we had 6 crew members, and they were all hired individually just for this event. So we had a lot going on over the last 2 days. We had conference coverage, we had man on the street interviews, we had 2 breakout rooms, and we even had a third breakout room for a third set for interviews, which was filmed up in a suite. So it's been a lot of moving components, lots of things going on, lots of pieces to the puzzle that we had to try and figure out, lots of troubleshooting. But let me go ahead and give you guys kind of a quick breakdown on what we were capturing in this room in particular. So we had a 4-camera setup here. We weren't capturing and streaming, we were just capturing, and we're going to edit later in post. But we had 2 Sony FS5s as kind of our A and B camera, and then we had another 2 Sony FS5s on the wings that were capturing more content for the audience. So this was our A and B follow cam, and then we had a PowerPoint with the presenter. As far as lighting, we tried to keep it pretty simple. We had a couple LED panels. We didn't want to take up too much space in this room because we were kind of crowded. We didn't want to set up an 8x or a 6x or big lanterns, so we decided to go with LED panels, which is a hard light, but it was still able to work. And then we also, as far as audio, we had 4 channels of wireless audio. We had 2 lavs and 2 handhelds for Q&A and that sort of thing. But this was a pretty simple setup, but like I said, we had 5 other things going on. So this was just one piece in the whole entire component, which I think turned out pretty good over the last 2 days. So this is one of our sets that we have for today's shoot. This is a breakout room for a conference. So on this set, we're capturing interviews, one-on-one interviews with people. And a typical conference room is not very nice. So sometimes the walls are just very plain, they don't have any furniture, and it just is not conducive for filming. So I thought on these shoots, we would bring in some set decorations and as well as a background, because that's always huge. Is you don't want it to look like you're in a conference room. So this was a vinyl background that I purchased from Amazon, and I think it was like 30 or 40 bucks. They use it a lot in photography, but I thought we could use it for video, and like it doesn't look half bad once you set it up properly. But that's what we're using for the background. You can get these on Amazon. I'll put links in the description, that sort of thing. Then we just picked up a couple little decorations from Hobby Lobby. We wanted a little plant, and then we wanted some other little set decorations. And these are all super lightweight. It's not sturdy furniture, so it's good for like set furniture and for travel. And then as far as cameras, so we're using two Sony cameras. One FS5, which is an older Sony camera, and then we're using an FX3. Now this isn't ideal. I wouldn't usually want to mix and match these kinds of cameras together, but for this job we needed 9 camera packages, and I wanted to make sure that at least they were all Sony, and we're shooting S-Log3. So it is gonna be a little bit easier to match up in post, but that's what we're working with cameras. We got a 50mm lens on the FX3, and then we have an 85 on the FS5. So that gives us our medium and then our tight shot. And we're shooting wide open because we want that background to drop out as much as possible. So that way you don't see how, you know, the vinyl background is wrinkled or anything like that. You can really get away with it if you have enough distance. And then we have a director's monitor set up for client and also for camera op, so they can see, you know, the frame a little bit bigger. And then as far as lighting, we're using a very simple light set. This is a Aperture F22C, and we have it at like 9% right now. We have the grid on it, so that way it's not spilling onto the background. We wanted to keep a kind of a dim look for these interviews. And then we're also using a, I think this is an Tamron P2C. So this is just a tube light. And then we're using an Aperture B7 bulb for a practical. And that's pretty much it. We have 2 sets going. So this one, and then we have another one in the other room, which is an identical set, but we're just kind of flipping the frame. So that way we get something to cut back and forth to. But yeah, that's it. So literally just made it back from Atlanta, getting a few things out already, but I got to repack and do another shoot tonight. So yeah, I would have just brought my gear with me that I needed for this shoot, but there was no room. Once I packed everything for the Atlanta shoot, there was no space to pack for this shoot tonight. So have to quickly unload all my stuff that I'm not using. I might not even have time to do all that. I might need to just make some room for the stuff that I am using, and then this is just gonna have to come with me. So yeah, I'll see you guys over there. Just made it to location in downtown Little Rock. Got all my stuff ready to go. Super tired, been a long day. Traveled in from Atlanta, had to run home, drop off some equipment, pick up some audio stuff. Luckily tonight's gonna be pretty simple. Not a whole lot going on. It's mostly just recording audio, and the audio setup's pretty simple. It's a couple of condenser microphones running XLR, couple of lavs, and then just one camera op. So shouldn't be too difficult. 1 hour performance. So yeah, looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun. Got my cart loaded up with equipment. This thing has been pretty clutch, if I don't want to bring the innovative cart, sometimes that's overkill. You can still put a ton of stuff in this cart here. And does anyone even like downtown areas? Like, this is just so bad. I hate having to film in downtown locations, having to worry about parking, and just they're so dirty. Literally dropped something and it landed right in the water. Now I gotta clean it off when I get home, which is fun. But yeah, just a short little walk, parking, and then there's the building right there, so should be good.